Welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer fantasy podcast to quench your hobby thirst for all things the old world. I'm back as usual. My name's Gomo and I'm joined by Andrew and Josh. How's everyone going?
Absolutely fine. Pretty excited, really, to go through all the different news we've had come up.
It's like an old world. Well, it's weird, isn't it? Like, what are we talking
about?
It's like,
old
hang on,
world.
there's even more old world stuff that I thought.
We're
talking about dwarves, and then I went, hang on, there was all stuff that came out for orcs as well.
There's so much.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to talk about that mainly, just what's been happening in the last week. Obviously, a little bit of hobby stuff, and I had some potential guests lined up, but we couldn't work it out because I was planned stuff and then I wasn't available anyway. So, and then I was like, oh yeah, are we going to cover enough? But we always do. And then when I was going through those almanacs from last week that we didn't really cover. Yeah, obviously we didn't cover last week, but Andrew and I did one of them. Yeah, there's stuff in there that's worth just skimming through. And I think, knowing us, we'll end up filling the podcast episode for you guys and you listeners. So hopefully it's enjoyable.
Are you painting away?
Good. Yeah, that's right. Had, Richard, one of our patrons, was saying he hasn't caught up in the last 4 weeks because he loaded them all up for a trip to, I think he said Melbourne or something. He was driving somewhere or something, or South Australia. I can't remember what he said, but I said, I hope we're worth listening to for that long.
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, before we get on, speaking of patrons, we should give them a shout out. And we got 3 more last week, just all in 1 week.
Really?
So
3 more?
Thankful about that. So we're up to 20, I think it's 28, what else? 28 members, and I think there might be, let me just go back to it, 24 paid members. So for those who don't know, we've just got a small, really cheap Patreon if you are interested in supporting the show. Just goes a little way to paying for this software that we're recording on and things like that. We've got 24 people who've, giving us a bit of support like that, which is really good. And I'll just run through. So our first 3 from last week, the new guys are Griff, Jess, and Wood Duck, which is a cool name.
Nice.
But then we've got the usuals. We've got Sean S, Josh Griffiths, Ninanuum. I can never say that one. Matt, Daniel, Jonathan, Gilthos, Cameron Bloom, Elliot, Chris Harrison, Julian Diesel, Cameron Atkinson, we've got Richard, William, Rob, and now Stiff Pants Thrusthammer. Love it. Andrew McAllister, Bobby Gerken, Gumwich, Sean Ritchie, Todd, and Chapstick. That's funny. Stiff Pants Thrusthammer.
He comes up with a new one every week.
That was going to be some type of dwarf thing. I thought he was trying to, torpedo. What are they called? Torpedo hammer things, but thrust. Oh God, that's just dangerous to say. Stiff pants thruster. That's how you get noticed on this show. But thank you everyone for supporting us as we're rambling about old world stuff. Keeps us coming back every week. Whether or not you're paying for Patreon or not, if you are listening to us or watching us, I should say, on YouTube, we do appreciate a like, subscribe, and hit the alert button as well, because that obviously gives us a fair bit of reach, even more than the podcast, which we've been noticing, which has been really cool. So, but if you like just listening to us, obviously we're still available on all the audio channels as well. So, appreciate it.
Yeah, always will be.
All the channels.
Also channels. We are everywhere. We're through the whole interwebs. That's right. We've infiltrated. Cool. So, I mean, look, we usually do a news section, but that's going to be the topic. We're basically going to cover the Adepticon Reveals and the Orc and Goblin. Almanacks release, bit of pre-order talk, stuff like that. Before I get into hobby and all that stuff, and maybe even just mention some of the Aussie tournaments, we do have a new segment that we've missed, and I think, Josh, did you want to cover that yet? Your anatomy section?
I want to see a diagram.
Anatomy.
You got to have a little pointer. You need a pointer.
I need a bit of context.
Yeah, I might need a little bit of context. Nick Gentile on the Dwellers Below the other week was speculating over the nature of the anatomical construction of dragons. I think he was mentioning wyverns and that type of thing as well.
Yeah,
was
he comparing dragons and wyverns? I can't remember. Is that what it was? And then he got I don't know. They started talking about.
I think he was mainly
front
talking about
appendages. And I
dragons.
don't know.
He was talking about dragons and going, how many
Okay.
limbs do they have?
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
hind limbs, forelimbs, wings, all that kind of thing. But then he did actually mention the wyverns at the end as well. And it's like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
wyverns actually have 2 legs and wings.
Yeah, they're actually
which,
proper,
you know,
aren't they? In a way.
Yeah, I would argue
Yeah.
they're proper. I'd argue they're
Yeah.
proper guys. Because the other thing is like, I should ask my vet friend.
Yeah.
Who I am. Who also has
Which is me.
Australian podcast.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Because it does annoy me slightly, like anatomically, looking at these six limb things. Even my Pegasi, I must admit, are no better.
Yeah, true.
than dragons,
No, they're not.
in a
That's
way.
Right. Where are these wings coming out of? Yeah.
Yeah, where are these wings coming out?
It,
and I would argue
is it a
that-
long rib or what is it that's grown? Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, that's okay. Here's one thing. So
Actually-
it's funny that you mentioned what.
I should have got my bone drag and we could have looked at it in detail.
Ooh.
'Cause it-
I was looking up
Sorry.
reptiles that did have wings, and you're actually on the right track because there's actually a particular one. It doesn't really fly, but he can glide, called a Draco, which has got like a little lizard
Draco.
with an adapted sort of rib cage that like can fold
yeah.
out and into
Yeah.
a big long sort of
Now, is that obviously that's been named after because Draco is an old name for dragon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I would
that's
say it
interesting.
is. Yeah, it's a little rainforest little rainforest lizard. So there is actually like a way you could possibly do it, but then it's not powered limbs as such. It's not like a full-on wings.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean the other thing is like to power the wings, you know, of proper flight, you need like actually like a lot of musculature, like a huge pectorals, huge chest muscles. And when you're thinking about the joint, like the shoulder joints that's involved in that, and the space you need for all this mechanical gear, having an extra limb right underneath where that's going to be, I just can't picture how it would
So are you
work,
saying
guys.
too that they probably would have 4 breasts, maybe?
Yeah,
Because they'd have
4 breasts.
front breasts for the front legs, and they'd have 2 breast muscles and all
Sounding a
that
bit
for the wings.
Slaneshi here.
It is.
Well,
It's sounding
they've
very
got backwards
malformed.
legs. That's we already worked out.
Yeah.
Or the fiend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so ridiculous. And the other thing is, for flight to work, you know, you don't need extraneous weight going on. You
Yes,
know, all the
that's right.
things that can fly have been evolved to be as light as possible. You know, they've often got quite small back hind legs, and you know, no other sort of you know, hollow bones as common in avian species and that type of thing as well. Man, the shape just doesn't work. The shape doesn't work. You also need like Pegasi is starting to annoy me the more I think about it actually, because you need proper tail feathers or something to you know
balance.
Guide your balance.
Yeah.
We just got like a horse
Acts as a
tail.
rudder.
That's not
Yeah, it's
that's
not
not
doing
giving you
anything.
any sort of control. It's like, what the hell? At least the dragon's got a decent tail.
I'm happy to play a game and you don't take any Pegasus in this game. I think that'd be a fair game.
Oh no, this is
not like they're
backfiring on me hard,
overpowered.
isn't it?
Overfouled at all in Old World.
Yeah.
Well, it could just be a flying wing. Like you got the B2 bombers, just a big flying wing.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a
work,
tail.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need a propeller on the front.
Pegasus don't do that though. Yeah, they just have the little tail. Yeah.
You got a little tail.
Well, that's
Little
why
tail
Maybe the
spins
tail
around,
just
around.
flips around.
like a propeller.
Yeah.
So funny. One other thing I wanted to mention, which is a random factoid, and this does start to get really sciencey, because I was trying to look up, you know, how mammals and other quadrupedal things evolved, you know, from fish and stuff, and largely it's from fish that had 2 pairs of pelvic limb and a pectoral limb. But there is one mammal that's seen to, well, not really mammals, more of a marsupial that's been shown that it has what's considered to be a pentapedal gait, like it's arguably has a 5th limb, and that's the kangaroo.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
When
Awesome.
when they're walking around, they actually use their tail as a method of propulsion. They actually push off the tail more than any other of the limbs. Biomechanically, you can argue they actually do have a 5th limb in regards to their gait, a pentapedal gait, as it were.
Pentapedal. I like it. They don't really use the front 2 legs, I guess. Well, sometimes they do. They do, don't? Yeah, I guess
They do. They
sometimes
do.
They
Yeah,
crouch
they do.
down. Yeah.
They do crash
More
down and
sort of
push off
falls.
on it.
Oh, it's no. I mean, I know this is a fantasy podcast, but some of that stuff's just crazily fascinating. I remember learning about like the laryngeal nerve, like that goes up, from your heart somewhere, and then up,
Yeah,
up
that's right.
around
From, like-
something and back,
from,
and
like,
obviously in a
T4
giraffe it
right up.
goes friggin' forever all the way up their neck, and it's only trying to go like this far, but it has to go all the way up the neck, around this thing, and back because that's just where it was in a fish.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking up
it's
the
insane.
pronunciation of wyvern.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this
Just
the other day.
within.
Versus
Yeah.
Wyvern. Oh,
It is
well, we were
Wyvern.
talking about decals
Oh.
last week.
Oh
This is
no!
great.
This is because I've heard heaps of people say wyvern, but this is on multiple things on Google. The pronunciation, they do the pronunciations. They all say
Yeah.
wyvern.
Wyvern.
Wyvern. Well,
Wyvern.
that's what I've always said, but
But
then
I have heard
intermix it with
wyvern.
I know,
Yeah.
so, like I did last week with decal and decal.
Decal
Yeah.
and decal. So I don't know if it's
podcasts of
yeah
pronunciation and scientific associations.
pronunciation
And
Right.
then you've
Well, we
got
need to get these
Wa
things
or
right,
Warg.
don't we?
In Warhammer, that's a big one too. I always used to say Warg when I didn't know what it was, and then I realised when everyone was talking, it was actually War. I was like, oh, okay. It's very hard to
Makes
undo
sense.
when you've done it since you're, a little kid.
Wag.
I like that. Wag.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You didn't have internet back then. So,
Yeah, no.
yeah. Oh god. Okay, cool. Well, is that the vet section? Is that the anatomy section?
I think it's this week's vet anatomy section.
Vet-
I don't think
vet
I need to go
anatomy section.
more depth into evolutionary history.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
I feel. Get into the hammer.
Yeah, get into the hammer. Look, we
The
had some
hammer.
tournaments too, and that was one of the things we're going to try to do is catch up with ASB this week around. They just did Return of the King on the weekend, and I think ACT might have done their one as well. But we're going to just have to wait till after Easter and probably try to catch up with some of these TOs that have at least been running some of the Aussie ones.
Yeah.
Should actually try to get some of the US ones. So if you're out there and listening, maybe we will hit some of them up. I'd just like to. A few of these TOs are starting to put out these FAQs unless GW get off their bum and actually give us one. So it's actually another
Hopefully
interesting
they
topic.
do one soon.
Yeah, to just sort of.
They put out that first one within a few weeks of the
Yeah.
release of the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like
They
that-
can't
that
be
filled us
frequently
all with
asked
all
'cause no
hope.
one was playing the game. And then now that
It's
everyone is
silence.
playing
I know.
the game,
now
silence.
it's months later in silence.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'll speak
Almost
to
feel like-
tournaments.
Yeah.
I'll just do before we keep going. I know ShyCon as of a few days ago still had quite a few spots. So they're in double digits. But yeah, if anyone in New South Wales is looking for a tournament, it's on the 20th of April. So you still got a good few weeks to try and get into that. Was Matt contacting you at all?
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, I'll probably need to confirm again this week that we're going to try get Matt on next Monday, Easter Monday, if people are around.
Yes,
or we record Monday, maybe it's Tuesday, I don't know. To chat about Shy Town Showdown, is that what it's called?
Yeah, ShyCon. Yeah, Shy-Town Showdown at ShyCon, yeah.
Okay, cool. At the
Just
Shire.
at the
Middle Earth. No. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, it's good.
That's
There's,
always made me think it's a Lord of the Rings tournament. Whenever I hear
Yeah,
a
I know,
Shy
yeah.
Con, I
Yeah,
just can't
no,
help
it's
it.
so good. Yeah.
It's fresh. I'm so I feel so bad. I run this podcast with all that stuff, and it feels like the first 5 of these tournaments that popped up, I just can't make. I'm just like, so frustrating. I mean, it's good because I'm doing other fun stuff. So I'm not just
Good stuff.
going taking the kids away and things like that. But it's just like, I need to find one that, Castle Assault's locked in, so that's not a problem. But I want to do 1 or 2 before then.
Before then, I feel like we're all going to be in that boat, I suspect.
Yeah,
We'll just
Yeah.
the Castle Assault girl. How do we play this game?
yeah. I need to find
it's-
one.
It's dangerous Castle Assault because there's just beer, like literally.
Yeah, it's a little different, isn't it?
There.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got no willpower like myself, you find yourself 5 beers deep, game 1.
Yep.
It kind
Yes.
of.
It makes you just play looser. So
Yeah. That's one way I put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's why we all just need to go get Chaos Armies. Let me just push them across the board.
or get beast herd armies and just get really drunk.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The question is, if you end up going better at Castle Assault than you went at, say, CanCon, it's like,
Yeah.
are you just better off drinking a whole bunch of beers to start off.
Just bring
Maybe
a
it's like
flask.
darts and pool. Like you just, there's that
Yeah.
the good spot you get to.
Yeah,
the sweet
yeah.
spot.
Yeah, the sweet spot.
No, it's gonna be good. Hopefully, they're popping. There's lots of tournaments around the world that I've seen. Obviously Adepticon, which we'll talk about in a minute. Not so much for the gaming side, but so yeah, they're all starting to filter in now. So it's going to be an interesting next few months. And then obviously we got Orc and Dwarves coming out, so that's going to probably throw in a few more things. I'm assuming, I haven't heard anything, but I'm assuming the tournaments that played, like the bigger ones, even like Adepticon, they will let the arcane journals in, right? Probably just not mercenaries,
Surely.
and allies and stuff.
Sure.
Like I haven't heard any not
Yeah.
allowing those other army lists. So that's
Yeah, I
gonna be
haven't
cool.
seen any support for that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, awesome. All right, well,
The perception is they're not that
let's,
much more powerful than your regular Grand
Nah.
Army. So
Yeah, because
at
they
this-
do
at the moment,
something.
at least
Yeah,
so
that's
far.
right. But then they pull a lot of other stuff out of it. So it's sort of,
Yeah.
sometimes they look a bit OP because you go, oh, like this is cool, I can do this now. But then you go, oh, hang on, but I can't take this other stuff at all. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing that the advantage it does give is that you do get a little bit more range in terms of magic item selection, even in the
Yes.
grand composition army lists.
Yeah.
That you've got maybe 5 or 6 extra magic items than you otherwise would get.
wow, we got an answer from the Orc one about the troll hag that I was, pondering last podcast. Remember I said,
with the
I
spell
wonder if you'll
list,
be able
yeah.
to take
Oh yeah.
I wonder if you had to take the troll hag in a Orc and Goblin general army, or does it have to be in the troll list? No, yes, you can take it in the. So they're starting to go, hey, even though this is the Arcane Journal and this unit's in the Arcane Journal, it can also be taken in the general list. Even though when you look at the general, what's called the general, grand composition.
Army?
It's called.
Yeah,
the
the
Grand
whatever
Army.
it is, yeah.
Even though it's obviously not written in there, it can be taken as a rare choice and
Sort
stuff
of-
like that. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, I don't have the Arcane Journal, so I might be 100% wrong
Yeah.
there, but it sounded like that's
Yes,
the case.
but-
Which, I mean, is that going to make some things OP or not? I don't know, but at least it gives you that them and us the flexibility to add new stuff, and you can use it,
Yeah.
which would be cool.
Well, it's early
Yeah.
days just yet, but they had I don't know why people go on it, but it's so early. But like they've got like the rankings or like the
Yeah.
percentages of like most
Yeah,
powerful
guys
army.
doing that on YouTube. I've watched a few of them.
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, it's really early days, but that's not really showing. You don't have Bretonia and
Toon Kings at the top. Yeah, I see what you mean.
at top,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
smashing away.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
yeah,
Mm.
cool.
Yeah, will be interesting to see how things pan out. And I like that there potentially could be able to add units to other grand armies without necessarily being connected to an arcane journal one day.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
gives them because they must have so much backlog of just random stuff that at some point they might go, oh look, we're still months off version, whatever edition 2 or whatever. Just throw these little things out, or a campaign book that adds stuff in, and that's what was so good about 6. So hopefully,
Yeah, I think that's
replicating that,
that would be
Campaign
awesome.
would be awesome.
and to
you think
bugger with the balance, we'll work it out.
Do you think there'll be an arcane journal with a unit that might actually say you could use this for some other army as a part of the army without it being allies as such?
Well, sort of. There is, I guess, if you're talking about mercenaries.
Oh, true. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's not really what I was talking about, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know. I probably like the things I could think of there is something like the Bone Grinder Giant. No, that's still I think they were talking about that being a mercenary, but again, maybe we'll see it in one of these pictures here. I can't remember if that was that or you could just use it. Josh's camera just went, but I don't know if that means he's gone.
No, I'm still here. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Still here.
Just lost your camera.
It's what happened to me just before. Anyway,
That's okay.
well, still
keep
good on
going.
audio.
Yeah, still got him on. So all good. Do you want to well, now we don't. He's gone totally. Oh damn, it's gonna be an annoying one to mix afterwards. All good. So, well, we'll talk hobby
Straight away, he
quickly
comments
then.
like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, means not going to keep talking.
It's all to work
Oh
out.
yeah, as soon as I see someone drop, I'm like, God damn, there's another 15 minutes gone. All good. Did you any hobby apart from gaming stuff that we were doing?
I was just actually because I got back into dwarves. Funnily enough, hey, he's back.
He's back.
I never left, by the way. I don't know
Yeah.
why it shut off, but yeah. I can
Oh,
hear it
okay,
all.
cool.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah,
All
he's
good.
here the whole
Hopefully, I haven't ruined your mixing because I
Well,
never
you heard all
never
that, so you
disconnected
probably
it, so it should
didn't,
be
so it's
okay.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. No, I was
Okay.
just digging out all my bits and pieces. I had some more iron breakers actually. I'm trying to work out for troll hammers. Spoiler alert, I won't get into it too much, but playing a list with more troll hammers than what I did last time. Just trying to work out what the point is of having a fair amount of troll hammers that isn't troll hammer spam. And when I say troll hammer, sorry, Iron Drake units with champions wielding a troll hammer torpedo. So yeah, for me, I would think the comfortable limit would be max 3. I think 3 sounds like a fair limit.
Yeah.
Plus they are rare.
That's starting to get in line with that rule of 3 a little bit anyway as well.
Yeah.
So if you end up getting comped that way, at least you've played that way anyway a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to work out because I'm like, I don't want to start submitting a list and it's just full cheese. Even 3 to me is sort of maybe pushing it.
How many can you actually fit when you do 5 units of 5?
Depends on the
They're rare.
loadout. Yeah. I'll have to have a look how many of the units you can actually take. But you can get them down to like 83 points.
87 or 83, yeah.
Like 87, something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there you go. So 5. I don't know. No. 6.
So, yeah,
maybe 6. Is that right?
yeah, so it just says 25%. So there's no for Iron Drakes.
No,
There's
so it'll be
no,
5 or 6 depending on if it's 8. Like. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's starting
But that's
to really
yeah. Wow, to
take
wreck my
this
dragon.
a little bit. Oh, they're a pretty hardy unit anyway. Like just because
Yeah.
they're got stubborn and
Stubborn. Yeah.
yeah, they're a good unit.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, I chased up. I had some extra iron breakers, but I got the iron breakers without all the sprues, but I've got extra sprues for my iron drakes from previous iron breakers I made. So I've only got the iron breaker like torsos, if you get me, and their weapons, but they haven't been glued. So I bought a bunch of iron breakers that were half put together, so semi-assembled, but they don't have all the bits for the iron drakes. So I've got another 10 that I can put together, making 30 total if I wanted to field that many. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'll have to make that D. Maybe play a few games of Warhol with you, see how they perform, and
Yeah.
yeah.
No, they're good. Are you doing that because? Well, I guess obviously because dwarves are coming out, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But does that mean that way you've got not that they're going to not allow vampires in, but at least you're playing with one that's sort of supported, gets an arcane journal, and then your other one.
Yeah.
You don't care so much. I mean, you still play it, but you don't care that it doesn't get an arcane journal.
Nah, well, I was maybe going to do a little video coming up because I was going to see how that went with you. I was going to play that vamp list that I had. This is probably getting a little bit off topic, well, massively off topic. But yeah, it was just going to be...
Yeah, keep going.
It was just going to be comparing for Shoutouts because, I mean, that's fast approaching, and I wanted something that was going to be...
Yeah, because you're the one going to that, eh? That's right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Throw whatever you want at me. Yeah.
Super, super competitive, but I just wanted something that was not too...
Is that the one with the...
Something that works.
Yeah, is that with the 2 mounted flyers, though? Is that what you're thinking? That one?
Yeah, so it's got a Strigoi on a dragon, and I didn't want to take I don't think it's legit anyway to take a double dragon list, but I was going to put a level 4 on a what's it called?
Oh, the mortis thing.
the
or something.
flying horror or whatever it is, which is the
other
monstrous
Abyssal
creature.
Terror thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Abyssal Terror. Yeah.
Okay, Abyssal Terror.
Yeah, sorry, the Abyssal Terror,
Yeah.
which is a lot less strong.
Yeah.
Like it's, but at that, and then obviously quite a bit of Cav, so it's quite a quick list.
Oh, that's the blood one you did, the Blood Knight, and you sent me that.
Yeah, it's
that's
got-
right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So that was the other thing I was playing with, a similar list to that. I thought that was a fairly fair list because the Abyssal Terror is definitely it's not a dragon, like it's pretty squishy. So especially the Necromancer on top.
That's cool. Okay.
So anyway, what did you get up to, Joshua Gorman?
There you go, Josh.
Want to go? All right. Couple things. I did a few things this last week or so. First off, I finished my my little Furies. I got them done, ready for the slow grow game that I had this weekend as well. I've got a photo of them actually.
Yeah. Bring him up.
Let's see if I can.
I've got a couple for mine.
Where are they? Hold on. Yeah, these ones I haven't really been able to get a proper look at them on the podcast, but yeah, can we add those in? There we go. Whoop.
Oh yeah.
So yes, I finished them up. I sort of, as I said, I've used some of the 6-head demonette heads and like claws and stuff, and like stuck them on a design that I found off my manufacturing, and I sort of try to paint them in a similar sort of theme to the rest of the army. You know, just like lots of pink and purple.
Yeah,
pretty much. So I got those ones done, and then the other thing I was doing last couple of days.
Well, they're going to sub out to be harpies as well. You see?
Yeah, I think so. So they're on 25mm bases. So I think harpies in the old world are 25s as well, right? So yeah. Whereas they're on 25s to be Chaos Furies in the cults list. So yeah, I think they work well for both. If I'm running a like Slanesh themed dark elf list in the old world, although I'm not sure how that would really work, but I mean my minis are all painted in that way. So that's if I ran dark elves, they'd all be that theme, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
Whether or not I run a more normal list or not. And then the other thing I was doing was it's all very slow grow. It's all 6-head related. Was because I was wanting to run a noble on a Cedar Slanesh for next month. I thought it'd be kind of fun because he's so zippy. 20 move march is like ridiculous. So I was talking about doing his armor I think last week, but that is him there now. So yeah, I've sort of used some of the Slanesh Lord like chest and sword, but I've used like a dark elf cold one riders for the feet, for his legs, and then I stuck him on a brood worm as such on a 50mm base. So I'm not sure I could use him as a counts as anything really. In the old world, but just to run him in 6-head, I think it's going to be fun. And it shouldn't take too long to paint up.
Is he running solo? He can't.
No, he's on a monstrous mount, so I think that mount has like 2 or 3 wounds.
Okay.
Which in a way gives him protection, because if the mount gets taken out, then he's still on foot, and it's like the mount only costs 40 points anyway. So it's quite a cheap mount. So I think it'll be fun.
But fast.
Yeah, it's just super fast. Move 10, March 20. Like you can just zip around. I'm considering giving him the terror causing mask. Like it has a 50-point death mask, which just like have a super cheap like terror bomb.
Yeah.
With a great weapon. Yeah, and just have him running around and just annoying things.
Go up a flank where you're at a general's leadership range. Yeah. Cause all sorts of havoc.
Utter havoc. And then then I played the slow grow game. Now this one actually
was on the weekend.
Yeah, that was just like 2 days ago. 3 days ago? 2 days ago.
The week before was the tournament.
I know.
Right. Yeah,
I know.
okay. I totally forgot about the slow grow. Okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah. I
So much. All the 6th
Yeah.
edition.
So yeah, back to back 6 ed.
Just out your eyeballs.
I'm like, I don't know what's happened, but I'm just like so far, just because all this stuff is going on. Like, I never planned for the slow grow to be like overtake my one time in that way.
That's what happens when you start slow grow, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So I had no choice. So unfortunately, have we got any photos of it? I don't know where the photos are. In the slow grow, like the guy I ended up playing with, because we had 3 tables again. Like we had 6 people. The guy I ended up playing with, he'd misplaced his high elves, so he actually just brought he had these Chaos Warriors. So he just he couldn't find them. I don't know. I was very very confused.
It's probably about as organized as what I am in my shade. You should just say, I just shit everywhere. Anyway.
I suspect it must be. Yeah, I suspect it must be. But yeah, he really did. His list was essentially 2 big blocks of Chaos Warriors, and an aspiring champ. that was it. I've got I do have a photo of it. All right, so
he just ran out of time and just like, oh, quick, sort of threw this list together.
Yeah, he just threw it together. I've got cool. I found a photo of it. I couldn't find the photos before, but I do have one. Let me just bring this up. So this is sort of midway through the game. Unfortunately, because it's a whole army of Khorne warriors. I'll bring that up. There we go. And it's only 2 units. It's got no chaff, nothing else, no magic. It's got dispel. Nice.
I can't even see the Chaos Army.
I don't care. They just want to get in combat.
Yeah. Essentially, all my fast things went up behind him. I shot off half of the chosen unit and then sandwiched the other one with the Cold One Knights and the Demonites in the rear. Then I cast Frenzy on the Cold One Knights. So that worked. I think they held 1 turn and then they broke from fear the 2nd turn because they lost Frenzy and were no longer immune to psychology. And then the following turn, I just sort of threw the. Have I got any other photos of that? Not really. I just threw the devoted into
into the flank.
The little witch girls into the front of the chosen because they'd come up to the next turn a little bit further. There were only 5 left at that point, and I put the Chaos Furies in the back of that one as well. The chosen are pretty tough, man. They killed half of the devoted over 2 rounds before they all died. But yeah, it was a one-sided game because it didn't have a completely functional list, unfortunately. So when you just got when you got an army like mine, it's got so much mobility and shooting and magic.
Was just in the 2 blocks, then, hey, is that right? Is that the anointed?
That's right. It just had 2 blocks.
Is it in the middle?
It's just right in the middle there. Yeah. So it just there was just had no way of responding to anything I was doing basically. So it was the other 2 games were more interesting. I think Travis with his Slanesh Chaos Warriors against a Savage Orc list. Like the Dwarf player had actually swapped over to Savage Orcs now, but they're all based for the old world because he's like last month he was like, can I just run some? I based up these Savage Orcs for the old world. Can I just use them in the 6? I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. And he's running Savages in old world then too. Then
that's what he's planning to do.
Awesome.
Well, not Savages, aren't they? Just like Orcs with the Frenzy special rule.
You just don't see. You just don't. Well, at least in the armies I've been seeing online, you're not seeing a lot of people run them, which is a good change from 8th, I guess, because that's all you saw. So
yeah. Well, that's what he's planning to do. He's pretty much building the army from zero.
Yeah.
For the old world.
Everything needs to be rebased, pretty much.
It's so interesting. What it was there's such much bigger bases, especially in that context when you're playing 6 ed. And one army's space for 6 ed and the other army's space for the old world. And it's a subtle difference, but it takes up a lot more space on the table for sure.
Imagine if you're playing like 2,500 point, like if we settled at that or something, you'd be very quickly running out of deployment on a 6x4.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, you wouldn't
Like if you
yeah,
infantry and stuff, but cav are big.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, they're all wide because obviously it's pushing for wide units as well. So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
one thing to be said for the old world is it does encourage a lot of spending to be put into really expensive
yeah,
characters.
true. Yeah.
So even though these are large point values, you end up with I think smaller
Yes,
physically
overall.
in terms of the actual amount of real estate.
Yeah.
So that was okay. The other one I think was a Wood Elf versus Skaven one as well. But yeah, that's all it really was. Though, if for me, I had quite a quick game, and I just watched the other two games. So that was a lot more interesting. And then we'll do the next one, 28th of April, I think. Yeah, so in about 5 weeks, and hopefully I'll have my noble hopefully printed up, painted up in the next few days, and then I can focus on. I might do some more terrain over the next few weeks now that I've sort of caught up with things I want to do.
Oh man, I
we'll
was saying
see.
this to Andrew. Probably haven't told you, Josh. But I was like, oh, we need to pay Josh to make us some good looking other terrain for our other mats here. So when we're doing the battle reports, they look good. Those good hills and stuff you had.
Oh yeah, the
You just be producing
the ones I
stuff,
brought to
battle
CanCon.
reports.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
would like
Josh.
to get some of the snow stuff done that would go
to
with
do
the
a
Dark
snow
Elves.
tape. Did you end up getting that? You've got a mat, don't you? You bought a
Yeah, I've
snow
got a mat
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it. I just don't have any terrain to go with the mat.
Yeah,
So I've really got to get around to doing that.
Yeah, I tried to get that off that table, or whatever, but they're sold out. So I mean, I can order it, and they didn't have it down at CanCon when I was there.
Oh yeah. No, I'd like to get it because I feel like I'm getting free up now. Now Uprising's done, and I've got this logo done. I feel like the next few weeks I'm like, I feel
Are you?
the horizons are opening up.
But what are you doing, Olbert? Like, are you? Like, if you're talking about going to terrain, but what about rebasing? Or you're not really needing to because you're doing those adapted tray things.
Yeah, the other thing I need to get done, I had to wait for get a 4 mil burr. The first one I ordered didn't arrive, but I do have one. So I've been burring out areas of the adapter tray that I want to put the magnets in and that type of thing. So that's under construction at the moment. And I still have to do the banners that I want for the Peg Knights that I've done, like the plastic ones, so that I can prime them and have them ready to go too. So that's all things that I want to get done. Because otherwise then I'll have a functional the old world army.
Cool.
So base up, ready to go. Yeah, that's me hobby.
I did. I got into some painting. So I've been trying to get my Tomb Kings to the point where, that it's a proper based old world army. But then I got sidetracked with buying these guys, wherever it is. Where is it? Just for fun. So I bought them the other day and put them together.
These guys. Oh, you're saying these are the ones from the Age of Wait.
Yeah, there's
Age of Sigmar trolls? You're going to use them in 6 set? I mean, in the old world? How?
Yeah, well, as soon as I was reading those almanacs and that troll list, I went, I need more trolls. You always need more trolls. And I just wanted to try them out. So, not try them out, but just like put these together to see how they fitted. And like you can see the guy on the right, he definitely overlaps and stuff, but it's not as bad as like, say, if that was a unit of 20 infantry and you're trying to put them all together because there's only 3. Worst case, you end up with 6 in a unit. I think they'll fit fine. But it does make me just remember how big they are. And then when we look at the almanacs and look at the old stone trolls, how small they are on the 40s.
Yeah.
Be interesting because I don't have
50s or 40s.
These are 40s.
Are these 40s?
Yeah, they should have really done trolls as an option, I reckon. Like to say you can put them on 50s or 40s because then you definitely could fit a bunch of these AOS ones, no problem. But here's what it is. I'm not going to pay these guys yet. I'm just, I was just in the shop and I went, there's a box. That was the only thing of like orcs that they had. Like everything's gone. Like all the night goblins and the Vanguard boxes and.
That makes sense. Yeah,
and I don't think that's AOS because that army's been out for ages. It's definitely old world.
Yeah.
But I did get into this guy. That's the Tomb King. He's pretty much done. I wasn't. Well, there's the dragon with the wings. Where do they come out of? Somewhere. there's his big shoulder joints that you're talking about, Josh, for his front legs. But I don't know where the wings come out. Yeah. So, shoulder blades. But yeah, he's done. I got a little bit annoyed with it. I don't know, like it's funny. I painted the Tomb King from the Sphinx box, whatever it is, Necrosphinx one, for CanCon and put him on a chariot. And that Tomb King is just, I don't know, slightly bigger and was so easy to paint. And this guy's actually smaller, like his details smaller and his face is smaller. And I don't know, it's really weird that it's almost like there is a bit of weirdness going on between scales, even like from the really old stuff and then even the newer 8th edition stuff now to the old world stuff. It's like a little bit weird. I don't know. In terms of scale for some reason, like if you compare their heads, for example. But yeah, it's just a lot of detail. And, at some point you just go, man, I just want to get this thing done. So he's done, but he could have, I was saying on the chat, probably only about 70% happy with him because I was getting a bit rushed near the end. just get it done, getting glued on so I can move on.
So where did the wings attach on the Bone Dragon? I'm so confused.
See
how they decided to put this together because you can't hide when it's a skeleton.
No,
what's that connecting to? Are they putting like an extra clavicle or
something? Yeah, something. It's this thing going down here.
You're getting technical now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It goes under here and connects there, I think.
The clavicle.
It's a bad shot because I've definitely got one from the side somewhere, but I'd have to find it.
Yeah. Give me a side view. I need a side view.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll do that.
Maybe next week.
For next session.
Maybe next week.
Yeah. We'll analyse it.
To be continued.
That's actually a good point because, I did get the second one came in the mail that I bought for a miniature horde. That came in the mail and I was thinking, because it's the second one, I might spend a bit more time trying to put it in a pose that's not this pose. Like actually, obviously do a bit of hacking and modelling and green stuffing and whatever.
Go for it.
Hobby.
And trying to get its wings out and stuff. I'll probably have a lot more answers where things are supposed to, or where they're trying to plug in. Yeah.
So, that'd be a really good approach.
Yeah.
Because it's static enough as it is, and if you have two of them in the same, that'd be so boring.
No, definitely get its wings out or something.
So much potential.
I'm still half tempted to spend a lot of money and get that other thing, that other vulture thing, and try and a real good kit bash between them somehow. But I don't know. That'd be like a $500 model. It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't run it much because I'll probably put the leech on it and probably wouldn't run the leech on the dragon heaps. Who knows? It might change around. Probably will. I just whacked this guy out yesterday. Like second scorpion. Like I already had 2 scorpions of G-dub ones, but because I've got 3 of these that you printed for me, Josh, and they're on the right size bases, I just wanted a second one. I've got a third one undercoated, but I'll wait till I actually need 3 in a list. I'm not actually very happy with them in Old World, but we'll see how we go. Probably still using them a bit wrong. I don't know. They're definitely not as powerful as they used to be in the 6th edition, that's for sure.
I like what we've done with the basing on those guys. You sort of filled it in nicely, which is good.
Yeah, some rocks and some of these bones and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, but the other things, I haven't got pictures of these, but I guess the other bit I've got is because I've got the new Herald. What have I got over there? The new Herald. I got that, I keep forgetting his name. What's his name? The Cetra's oh God, what's his name now? I can't remember. Where is it? Not the calf. What's his name? Nikaf, that guy. Yeah, emissary of Cetra. That guy.
Yeah.
So I've got all him glued up.
Yeah, cool.
And then I've got the converted Leech Priest on that flying thing, plus a couple more Tomb Guards to flesh that unit out. So I've got like all these little individual dudes now that I need to finish, just like character models and stuff. But once that's done, the army's mostly, there's only 1 unit of archers, I think, that I probably still need to rebase. It'll just depend if I need them, so I'll just then start deciding. Like I'd like to do a list where I have like just skellies, but obviously need to build them and paint them and stuff. Yeah. So I'll probably jump over to my orcs once I've done that and play with them and model them and just have the Tomb Kings where there's enough there that I can 2 different lists, that's for sure. Because I've
Yeah.
got heaps of chariots. Probably could do 3 more chariots and put Tomb Guard on them, but I mean, I can always pull some old skellies off and put some Tomb Guard in those ones that I've got. So that could be a cheaper option to get the Tomb Guard chariots in.
Is
But
this
yeah, that's
Skelly list going to be like just the one A4 size block of
maybe
skeletons?
maybe as a joke, but
Should try that off on Warhol actually. Maybe
yeah,
we can do
we
that.
should try that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the death.
Could you
We still haven't done the
magnetise
Death
them?
Star video, so I'll need
The
to.
Death Star video.
We need to talk through that and get that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that,
Yeah.
Josh?
Could you magnetize the Tomb Guard's chariot versus the Skelly chariot? Could you swap them over like that? Is that possible?
You probably
Do
could.
you think?
I think.
If you're drilling holes?
Yeah, or you could put some. I don't know. I was thinking you could put something slightly different under their feet because you're never going to see it, and have 2 of them connected to that, and magnetized onto the bottom of the chariot, and just pull them on and off. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
it'd be
couldn't
pretty well
like
hidden
magnet-
where the connection
yeah,
point
it
is.
would be. Yeah, exactly. So,
Mm.
yeah. So anyway, I'm nearly there. It's just, to be honest, it's just the motivation now painting like just individual characters. I don't know. I've sometimes I think I do better either painting biggest. Oh, sorry, I got the Necrosphinx to finish too. It's undercoated. I just haven't. So yeah, there is a few things to do yet. We'll get there. It'll nearly be done.
But you say you prefer rank and file troops, painting them over individual
Sometimes.
characters.
I don't
That's so
mind an
interesting.
individual character. I don't like when I have like 5 to do because you want to put the effort in, but then it takes a long time. Whereas if they're just rank and file, you smash them out. And if it's one big thing, I feel like I can spend time on just the one. But when there's like a handful, I'm like, oh damn, which one do I want to, go to next?
Yeah,
That's all. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
motivational
fair
wise.
enough.
Yeah. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about it a bit more in this one, but we probably don't need to, is Andrew and I started playing around with Warhol and playing some games. So we'll probably get some digital games in as well as obviously after Easter, probably do another stream. So, yeah.
Just to increase the amount of games we play and just try and get the rules down pat and
Yeah.
speed up gameplay is a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that last night, like, because we're both very similar, like, you arm and R and do all this sort of stuff, and half the time it doesn't make any difference because then you roll the dice or whatever, like if you spend all this time and then you
Faffing
miscast
around.
or something, like it really. And so we were going, I was saying, like, yeah, like if we actually played, like we were saying we should start timing, and we're like, yeah, like if you ended up playing, say, 15-minute turns and you just, the first thing that came in your head, you just move the unit. And it could be the dumbest move and it loses the game for you. But you get through way more games and then eventually those first sort of gut feels of doing things probably become better. I guess that's my hypothesis. And that's the benefit of playing more games, I guess,
Mm.
You'll probably start planning better because you've only got limited time. And then like you said, after you make mistakes, you're like, oh, I need to start planning my moves because I've only got
it's forcing you to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And especially with the digital side, like, I mean, it took us a little bit to work out all the little, keyboard shortcuts or not, or like I was deleting a couple of units accidentally because I was clicking a button that I thought was close, but it's actually delete. And I was like, what the hell? But I think once you get that down, that's where Warhol or one of those would be really useful because you can just smash out. And especially if you're timing yourself, you can smash it out quick, or like we're doing, playing it over 2 days. So that way you're not having to also do 3 hours or whatever in one go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's very flexible
yeah.
to do it.
So yeah, it's gonna be good. That's it. Should we get on to? Is there any other hobby stuff, or you guys want to get onto some main topics?
No,
Get
we
on
can go
some
for it.
dwarves. They first.
Yeah, we can
Little
do that.
boys.
Yeah, let's do
Little-
that.
Little thick boys.
So I'm just trying to find my correct screen. Hang on.
Direct notice. Here we go.
But I actually have to add it. Always forget to do that. Cool. Here we are. Oh, I've got to click that. Let's go into this one first. So, Adepticon, do you guys, Josh, did you see our live stream? The reaction?
No.
We did a live stream. Oh no, we did
yeah,
comment
so
on
you
it.
guys
Yes,
did
we
do
saw
one,
the
didn't you?
results. Yeah, because we I guess we shouldn't have
Yeah.
the audio on because I had the audio on the whole time, but then we got done for not done, but they just you can't, not that we were going to anyway, but you can't monetize that video because the sound that GW using is a copyright stuff, which then ours got flagged as also using copyright music. I'm like, well, oh, damn it. No, but I guess, Andrew, man, do you want to walk us through this or at least just tell us? I think most people know what's in it, so you don't have to go.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Read, but what do you think? What was your first impressions, given that you're a dwarf player?
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty good. I think the battalion, might as well just start there. Obviously, it's on screen.
Yeah.
Pretty useful. So you got 2 gyrocopters, which can both be built into gyro bombers.
Right.
2 units of what are they? 16 warriors.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're all
32.
16s, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so the warriors can be obviously made with great weapons or sword and board. And then, well, sword and hammer or axe. And then your thunderers and quarrelers, they're both interchangeable. And obviously quarrelers can kind of be rangers as well. So yeah, they're pretty good kits. Obviously they're getting a bit dated, like a lot of these. And I have seen quite a few people bring the warriors as longbeards as well, even though there is a longbeard kit.
Is that because they're actually now long beards? Like, they're so old, the kits that.
Yeah. Well, before the longbeard kit came out, the plastic kit, the longbeards before that were like the old metal ones from ages ago. So there was nothing really in between. So guys just used to run the warriors.
Just paint them grey beards or something.
Yeah.
It's such a better, and I hate saying it, but it's so much better than the Orc one. I don't know who decided.
Yeah.
The Orc one's shit.
Utility, yeah. Utility wise, it's good.
It's just,
Yeah, 100%.
And I know we're probably thinking this because the gyro. Like, if you take the gyrocopters out of there, you'd be saying the same thing. You'd be like there.
Yeah.
Even if it just had a cannon in this instead, you'd probably sort of go, that's a bit dumb. But so the gyrocopters definitely save it. But
yeah, 100%.
The reality is you're going to take dwarf warriors, hey? And so, well, I think that's not totally true, but you're going to use some of this core box, you know what I mean? Whereas that's not totally true with the Orc one. At all.
Is that more because of how the rules are structured, like relative power of different units, more than anything though? Like,
I think the Orc one's more because of the night goblins and black orcs and all that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's the problem with the Orcs and Goblins having such a diverse range of core troops, though. They got to pick one.
Yeah. What about the command stuff here too? They've all got command in all of them. Is that right? So you end up with like effectively, what's that? Like 12 command models? Do you like 4 banners, 4 heroes, 4 musos, or is it different? Like, because I've never built these boxes.
Sure, we'll go. I think that's the way that it's going to be. So 4 complete, but you've got options not to do it. So obviously, it's just that option.
But I know in the Orc one they only put 1 command one in, so you got a unit of 30.
For the 30
orcs, but you've only got 1 command.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Funny that
more flexible.
Again, they haven't put in like a character into the box in the same way they did with the Orcs and Goblins, though.
True.
You know, because both the Tomb Kings and the Bretonia, you had a character there you could only get in the box. I think that's still the case, isn't it?
The Orc didn't come with a new one. It's just got. Does it have that? Does it have an Orc character?
I don't think it has a character at all.
No, it doesn't. I thought it was that plastic Orc that came in it, but that's in the Orc and the Boar plastic kit. Yeah, okay. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they just didn't whack them in there.
Yeah, but I don't think any battalion boxes had a character, did they? Previously.
Oh, previously? No, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But still, it'd be better if it did. But yeah.
So maybe it's weird that they did put them in the the Brett one and the Tomb King one then.
Well, I mean, the Brett one and the Tomb
Maybe
King
that's the
was also
exception to the
double the
rule.
size. Hey, like, you
Yeah.
know, it's about
Yeah.
double
Oh,
the
yeah,
size
they were
of this
heaps,
with
yeah.
the big character thing. So,
It was more of an army box than a battalion box, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously the Arcane Journal was coming out. Pretty cool art. It's got the new Thane Lord on his giant shield. And is there anything else in the background there I can see? No. New miniatures. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff. So
Yeah.
obviously the new Lord / Thane on his shield bearers or king or whatever you want to call him. I reckon these are cool with the two different sort of options.
Yeah. Well, and you totally get them, don't you? It's not like
Yeah,
if you build one, you can't build the other.
yeah.
Yeah, that's heaps
I
good.
like them. Yeah. I like them both. I reckon that guy that you're on now is really cool with his. It's got kind of like that Romanesque style plume with his little horns coming out. Yeah, I reckon they're really good. The only thing I kind of find a little bit weird is the guys carrying the shield bearers have got like that sort of necklacey thing around. I don't know. Maybe you could just paint it up a little bit better. For me, it's just it's a bit too much gold.
I wonder how
1-3.
big these guys are going to look compared to the other dwolves. Like, if
Yeah, they are
they
quite
won't
big
look
on a
dwarfy because they
24.
look like
I
bigger.
was pondering that.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's
Classic.
that's anyway.
I reckon my favourite guy though, these two guys got their weapons out, and this dude has to hold. I'm pretty sure he's got both hands
Yeah,
at the back.
yeah.
You know, he's like he doesn't get a chance to defend himself. He's got barrels. He's just like, oh, yeah,
the ale holder.
I got to hold the whole back here.
And then yeah,
His other arm's not gripped. Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get a
So is he-
closer look.
Well, you might be
Come
gripping
on.
one of the bars on the other side of the shield because of the front
maybe
two
there's
guys are
stuff
gripping from underneath.
Yeah, no, it's
So
good,
maybe
that's
he's
right,
holding one
you're
of the
right.
other ones. Yeah.
No, it is. Yeah,
Mm.
cool. And then these guys too.
Yeah,
This
the
guy's
Thane
shot
with
me a
the
bit, but-
handgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks cool, and I reckon you could probably almost double, utilize him as an engineer if you wanted to, because that gun's pretty next level. So that's pretty cool. I love the dwarves with the the old asterisk style giant bloody
Yeah, it is, isn't it? These headgear things. Yeah.
yeah, the head wings. Yeah, he looks
no,
good.
don't worry. I'll see it in a minute. Sorry, get going.
Oh yeah, and then obviously Ungram,
The young
younger Ungram, without his he used to have that big banner of him, the other one.
Oh
And
yeah.
That axe is just next level.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and his mohawk's definitely the envy of every troll slayer in the land.
It's a very interesting gold or color they've used on this too. It's almost a green gold, or maybe it's not even gold. It's definitely different to the other guys. Like the other, and that's probably just because he's a slayer. Like it's not this gold here. It's like a. I've never seen that color painted on the GW dwarves. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a good.
No, good point. Yeah.
I like these minis. Like it is fitting with the old world
Yeah.
aesthetic, isn't it? Like
100%.
I feel like they've hit the brief really nicely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's
They haven't overdone it.
I guess the question I was going to say, because it is this guy. He's right here. This is the guy I want to talk about. This guy was on a rock. So we've just scrolled down. There's more returning now. One of them's the Rune Lord guy. With his cape, and he's holding the hammer up for people who are listening. He came on a tactical rock all the time, didn't he? But now the base is 25. Do you reckon how do they? Because wasn't it molded into? He was one of those clamshell ones where the base was in the pack.
Yeah.
And that looks like a 25, not a 20 now. So I'm just wondering.
I reckon that might be a 20.
Oh, you reckon? Maybe it is.
Yeah, I've just got a feeling it's not 25.
I've got him somewhere, but he's not near me, so I can't.
Yeah,
pull him out
just
to
that
chat,
picture
but-
anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, that's my.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see
Feeling.
what they've done with some of those. Well, I mean, it's only going to be these like dwarves and stuff because they were really near the end where they were clam shelling some of those plastic characters.
Yeah,
And some of them
no.
had the base molded on, like the rock molded onto the base.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if they release like that and you just cut it off and you've just got to put your own base, which is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. And then scrolling through those. Oh, you don't have to scroll through them. That's up to you. But yeah, obviously they got the Ironbreaker. The Ironbreakers released hammerers and
Now these, so the Ironbreakers and the Iron Drakes, they're in AOS now, hey, so you can buy them.
they were. Unless
They did
taken
get
away.
shut down. Oh, they did get taken away. Okay, cool. No worries.
I'm
Awesome.
not sure if they did, but they were with
Yeah.
cities. But you know how they were
As
taking
part of
some
that
of the stuff.
discontinued. Yeah, right. Cool. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah.
And then the
And the
hammerers,
hammerers.
which also cross over with the
Longbeards.
longbeards. Yep.
There's no Longbeards in this shot though, is there? But
Nah.
same.
Yeah, just the hammerers. But I mean, the hammers can get taken as longbeards with great weapons as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
Must
of
be
those.
really long beards by now. Those
So they
Yeah,
started
pretty
using
old.
this. I didn't notice this back in eighth Tomb Kings and stuff, but I've noticed this now a lot more. This returning plastic, stamp, returning resin.
Mm.
There's probably returning metal. So it's good to see. You sort of know what it is.
Yeah.
And did they say new or they just say new? Yeah. They don't actually say new plastic, but that's fun. Cool. So we've got these old school returning resin Forge World command kit. Well, it's not command, is it? It's just boss.
Just it's
a thing.
So there's
a lord.
the Thane. Here's the guy I run on my I got rid of the king with the old throne. The king on the throne. I run him.
Yeah.
Looking over the Great Book of Grudges. So he's a pretty cool model. And then obviously, it's a lot more elaborate, this BSB. So he's pretty cool as well. And the
Slayer guy.
Slayer
I've never
Lord.
seen these. Were these just Forge World resin? They were never metal.
Yep, just
okay.
Forge World.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
They're pretty cool models.
Yeah, I've not seen them either.
Yeah.
And then going down the metal kits, we got the old. I always found this a little bit weird because it was the
anvil.
The anvil, but it had the I don't know what you call it.
Fire pit thing.
Yeah, the fire. Where like I forget what his name is. Old mate used to have the name. He's got a special name, and he'd go off and he'd like be his apprentice.
Yeah, yep.
Smash out the
I know
little
the guy you're talking
runes.
about. Yeah,
And then take it to the rune lord.
It's not Alaric, is it? No. No, I don't know what you mean, but yeah.
It's like Nori. Or, I'm sure someone will let us know. But yeah, it was just kind of like it made the model so much sort of bigger. But it's cool. It's a cool little addition. And then below that, we've got the returning Troll Slayers. So it's good to see the Doom Seekers returning. Although these guys, I've got some Doom Seekers, and the chains are just, they snap like anything else. They're terrible.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's they're not good. And then
how do you go about repairing them? Are they?
You glue it and it lasts like 5 seconds, and then just
and then it comes off again. You try to pin them or something, but they're so thin. Oh
so
man,
thin,
it'll be such a headache.
Yeah, they are.
Texture.
Can you even can you take Slayer Command in Old World? I haven't looked. Like with banners? Because you used to win one of them, hey, but I can't remember.
Well, in 8th, I thought you'd be able to.
Just can't remember in Old World.
Look it up.
That's I've got this guy, the old Demon Slayer or Dragon Giant Slayer, whatever he was.
Yeah. I think he was the Demon Slayer, the one with the big axe.
Yeah.
Slayers, standard bearer, musician.
Okay.
And you can take any number of giant slayers.
Yeah, you can take the whole unit can be giant slayers. Hey, that's right.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Any number, that's hilarious.
So they're sort
Yeah.
of not character. I mean, they're champions, I guess. But yeah.
Then these guys are pretty cool if you're into your really old school minis.
Mm.
Is the
Now this is
I
interesting.
don't
We've got
even
to
know
bring
what
this.
era they are. They're pretty old.
Yeah, they're way old. And they're probably close to the Marauder dwarf, what it was, range.
Yeah, yeah.
Old
They
school
look-
ones.
yeah.
I've
Very
got a
old
bunch of
hammer.
old school ones, but not these particular ones. But these were because this is this Prince, Ulfa, whatever it is. Now this interesting part though, where does it say? Basically, the rules are going to be in the box, and so here's another. Maybe it's on this asterisk. Here's
Oh,
another
for those
way they're
boys.
going to add stuff
Oh, yeah.
in. Yeah, I think is it that asterisk? Where is it? Note that their rules are not published in the Arcane Journal. These will instead be included in the box packaging. So I like that they're not locking themselves down a bit. They're going, hey, we can bring some
Yeah.
stuff back and just give you the rules. Go for it.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's going to be like somebody you can take as like an army, like a
Like
mercenaries
mercenaries
something?
or I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't think this was the article that they mentioned. It was it. It can be used as mercenaries by
there you
dwarven
go.
and imperial armies. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see mercenaries coming in now, which is cool.
Wait, but this is a made to order, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also says returning. Oh yeah, made to order, but returning metal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm just being a realist. Oh, sorry, Josh, you go.
you can run. There'll be rules in the made to order, but then there'll only be a limited release of the made to order. Is that right?
Oh, that's play. Yeah, that's play almost, isn't it? I don't think any of these are going to be game breakers, though, eh? Like,
Well,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think so. But yeah, it's just.
yeah.
Sorry, go on, Andrew.
Well, I mean, I like the idea. I do like the entire idea, but the aesthetic of these guys with
oh yeah, it
the
doesn't
you
match.
know
Same
putting
thing.
with the with like
Yeah.
that 8th edition
They're an
style.
acquired taste.
Yeah, like it's just so bizarre how they've got these that are like nowhere near even close to the new sculpts. Like I know there's some old stuff and some new stuff getting around, but I mean these are getting pretty friggin' ancient. It's almost like the orcs have got that really old school Biggins unit as well.
Yeah, the
It's
biggins.
like-
Yeah, same thing. It's almost like they've got a couple of different markets here where some of these people buy this stuff and aren't even playing old world. They're just going to build out their collection.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
playing old hammer,
But if they got rules for them, then it's kind of weird. Because what if they are like a decent unit and for whatever
dunno.
reason you do
Hopefully,
allow
it's not
mercenaries?
just in the packaging. I feel like they should, because you know how they got where you download the FAQ from.
Yeah.
They'll have rules. Hopefully that they just do it, because
Like
then
a
you could, if
PDF
they are
rule,
good, you
yeah.
could potentially convert them up or something.
Oh yeah, use something else
Maybe.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that would be the intention ultimately.
Yeah, wouldn't be taking those points.
No, cool. So this is another bunch of stuff. I guess you're going to be looking to get all the all the new characters. You probably don't need much else, do you, Andrew?
Yeah, probably won't get the Thane. I'll definitely get I'll get the pre-order for the King on the Shield Bearers, and I'll get Ungrim for sure. I reckon they're. I do have Ungrim,
Yeah,
but
cool.
it's. I like the new model. It's cool.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, do you want to smash into the? Oh God, is there another Sunday preview? I didn't even see that. There's probably nothing that we have to look at, is there? These are just the stuff they revealed at Adepticon, mostly, maybe. Oh, they didn't do that though. So I'm just skimming live here. Haven't told you guys I was going to do that. Just want to see if there's anything that we should
No, it
talk
doesn't
about.
look like it.
There was a cool with the I've noticed with the vamps of all the different styles of vamps that are getting around. Like you get the vampire with the winged horror, like upgrade, things like that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's just good with like all the Age of Sigma range. There's quite a few good vamp options.
Oh, so many good. Yeah. I was going to bring this up, but maybe I won't. You haven't finished reading that book, have you, Josh?
Which
The
Lord of the Lands.
Lord of the Lands, yeah.
No.
No, okay. No, I won't bring it up. That's okay.
Spoilers.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah. Cool. I haven't finished it either, but I just had some interesting things I was thinking about when I was reading it the other day. Cool. So let's just smash through some orcs then quickly, because they went up pre-order very weirdly in Australia, because I don't even know. Like, and I saw this on Facebook. Like, they don't even know when it's going to be available in Australia. Like, if you contact GW, like for everything else, like the journal and all that, they just go, yeah, no, just when we don't know the date yet. Just keep, keep a track of Warhammer community. So it's a bit annoying because it's not like the launch where it went, oh, you're delayed 2 weeks, and you knew you could then order it in 2 weeks and you get it. It's a bit frustrating. But then obviously stuff was available, but it was just stuff that you'd get from UK. And then on top of that, there was an error, not just in I don't know if it's an error, but like the Night Goblin command wasn't even there. And then later in the afternoon, I went back and it was there. So I had to so I bought it. But I was just like, and other people were saying the same thing. How come the Orc command and whatever is there, but the Night Goblin command group from Forge World wasn't there? And it's just like, it's weird. I don't know what they're doing. So sort of been able to buy a couple of the new stuff, but obviously we can't get the journal yet or the magic cards or the plastics and stuff. So I have no idea when that's coming in Australia, which is a bit frustrating.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. But I do have this guy coming, which is and we've, Andrew and I have gone through this. I don't know, Josh, is there anything that you would have brought up around the orc stuff or?
No, not really. I mean, so you guys talked about the Wolf Riders and how they could possibly make them usable with all these extra rules they're giving them, but they're still impetuous. Like,
there is a couple of items, and it's worth. I mean, I'd love to do this, but we can't because we don't have the book. But there's definitely, like Mountain Miniatures and a bunch of these other ones, Tabletop Tactics, whatever. They're all doing the Arcane Journal review and walk through, I guess. So if people haven't seen that yet, go check it out because it does go a little bit more in depth into what the magic items are. And it's like you said about the Arcane Journals, Josh, like it's nice to have that little bit extra magic items because there's some good ones in there, I think. Because Tomb Kings have some good ones. Like there's a spell one that does, you get to reroll your cast, which is always good, but I think it adds 3 inches to all your casts, ranges and stuff, like little things like that.
As well.
Almost auto tags. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the points are, but just, cool ones like that, which are going to be good.
Just
definitely some
reliability,
more
flexibility.
Yeah, totally. There's ones that help this impetuous on some of them, I think, for this nomadic war, which is interesting. But then you also, they've also got the Black Orcs. Was this in this article, or was that just? No, I don't think it was in this because we didn't talk about it. Like you get the Black Orcs chariots in this list, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just a bit like kind of random because, I suppose you just have to model it, wouldn't you? Because there's not a
it's like the Tomb Guard one. No, you just exactly. You just put some different people in it. But I posted on our Facebook group. It's like that's what you get that big. Not Gore Grunters. I was mistakenly called them Gore Grunters. It's the other one. You know that one the big Gore Grunter one. That's just the one big one with the 3 orcs hanging off him.
Big
Black
giant.
Orcs. I think I'd use them as Black Orc chariots. They look cool.
Yeah, they do.
And they'd probably fit. I mean, they are pretty big, I'd imagine, but I think they'd fit on a chariot base.
Yeah, I reckon they would.
Yeah. So that came out. There was 2 other articles which were more just interviews with stuff like how they're meant to be played, and then obviously talking to JTY, talked about impetuousness, and it's funny some of these articles. They're like, this is really good until they run in and kill themselves. So I don't think there was a lot of new stuff in this article. I don't know if you guys read this one. It's a bit.
I haven't read the lady.
It was we're sort of rehashing what they were thinking about when they designed it, but
and I do like hearing what they were saying, and there is little tidbits that are in there. There's chopper rule. I love the chopper rule because I love that it's just connected to any weapon that they have, which is cool. Which is way better than most of the others.
But like the dark elf one and the high elf one, which is just like hand weapon only.
Heaps of like that. Same as the Tomb King ones like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the limitation with the choppers one is it's only when you're charging, isn't it? So it's not like
Yeah, I think
any
so,
other
yeah.
turn. So I guess that's where the limitation comes in a bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
charging is super important in the game, and it just makes it
Yeah.
even more important.
And obviously,
which
orcs have
fits
like a
with the
heap
army.
of ways to increase
Yeah.
your range or re-rolling your charge rolls, and so that they definitely want to be charging. And then if you're impetuous, you're probably charging anyway, and stuff like that. So they talk about the
Yeah, whether you
fanatic
like it or
and
not.
that, Yeah, that's right. It's funny though. I was wondering if they're going to get smacked for this because this whole article starts talking about like night goblins effectively, which is release the fanatics. And it's like, is the AOS team going to come down and smack them? But yeah. I feel like-
What are your thoughts
'cause-
about the animosity versus impetuous? By the way, like because they've justified it in a way that the impetuous fits the theme better.
Yeah,
But,
I don't mind that idea. Yeah,
you
so
agree with
just
that?
so people if people haven't read it, they're basically saying like orcs and stuff really want to fight, so they will fight each other when they're not around other people, but when they're actually in a battle, their jobs they want to get stuck in and actually beat up their opponent rather than each other. Yeah, I think I can still live with that. I think that sort of makes a bit of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, could they have changed the animosity to just encompassing nearby enemies more, like rather than because the old animosity was what 2 to 5, it was just like squabble. But given there's only a 1 in 6 chance of failing animosity in the first place, surely you could have equally had, that high likelihood of a possibility of instead of being squabbling would just be charge the nearest enemy. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that could have worked well.
I remember reading this way back when we first got the rules, and I was like, man, impetuosity is worse. Like everyone whinged about animosity, but impetuousness is like
it's so likely to
almost
fail.
unusable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like it's like, especially on certain units, it's probably not as bad on infantry, but like the big one obviously is the Goblin Wolf Riders. I mean, when you got an 18-inch charge range, like everything, and then you got a Vanguard or whatever, you've already moved up. You pretty much you're in charge range.
The charge range, and it's 50-50 chance that you're just going to charge the nearest thing.
And it's different if you're say Dragon Princes, I guess, that you can actually do some damage when you charge. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind the fluff though. To answer your question, I just think it's just funny, and I just thought this was funny where they're starting to creep into about night goblins, but there wasn't really anything else in these articles about night goblins. They're just avoiding the whole squig night goblin mangler discussion because they're all in AOS. It's quite funny.
Classic.
Not sure there was much else in that article, and then we had what models are coming back a bit, which this is that one I was talking about, where if I scroll down to these guys, so the old school metal stone trolls, which
so
I've always
classic.
loved, and they're awesome.
Yeah, they're
but
great.
Man, they'd be tiny compared to those
They're
AOS
iconic
ones,
minis.
so.
Yeah, they would be. If you line those up next to the ones you had a photo of, it'd be what? Just on shoulder height, maybe?
Yeah,
it'd be like little
2/3.
baby trolls. I guess you could mix them in, and they'd look like the kids hanging around with their parents or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like trolls would fit. Like they're just different sizes. Like it's so much more fantastical than humans. I reckon.
They're just. I never owned them. They were way too much as a kid, but I always wanted to own them. And the funny thing is, I don't know. I think most of the time the river trolls were always better in game, but these stone trolls just were so iconic. It'd be tempting me just to get them, but we'll see.
It was good to see the Marauder Giant pop up in the Made to Order as well, because people were wondering, where'd the Marauder Giant go? But he's coming out.
He's not on our web store though yet in AU. Is he in the US? Like, can you order it yet? Well, you don't know because you probably haven't been there.
Don't know. You're asking me.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I don't know.
When you said that, I wasn't sure if you meant like it was out. But I'm the
No.
So I probably should
Just
flick
that.
to the UK one or the US one and see what they've got quickly. Because they've got the battalion box. So now, no, that is still pre-order, the Arcane EPUB. Because we're not even seeing the EPUB in our store, which is just stupid. Oh, so I've already
that
actually
is.
pre-ordered it because I pre-ordered it on Apple Books. So,
Oh, okay.
so it's popped up there, and it comes out on the 6th of April. So the
That's not that
Australians
far
can
away.
still get the Arcane Journal, yeah.
Yeah.
But not through their web store, which is just dumb. Just seeing. Oh, you got Price of the Bone Grinder. She's pricey in Australia.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's
what was the
$3.45 or
what was the
something.
price?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was 360.
It's
Yeah, so
230.
That's 230
US.
US. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, how much
the
are those?
conversion's
The big
probably
dudes?
accurate with the current exchange rate, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Wait, is the
that's all
Troll
they've
Hag
got.
only 93?
Yeah, she's actually she's 130 Australian, so not too bad.
How is she so much cheaper than the?
That
I guess
that
she's still
bone
smaller
grinder's
than the bone
huge.
That
grinder.
Bone
bone
grinder
grinder must be
is
huge.
it's like
Yeah.
twice the size of a standard, the normal 8th edition, 7th edition plastic giant kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like twice the size of that. Like, it's huge.
You wouldn't want to knock him over, would you? He'd be so top heavy.
Yeah, like it's big.
So ridiculous. Yeah.
And they're 180 for those 5 metal trolls. I mean, or ogres. I know some stuff's okay. Some other stuff is a bit ridiculous pricing, but it is what it is. I mean, geez, this is the hobby. I just don't even comment on it half the time now. Hey, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You just give your money
Yeah.
unquestioningly. Just hand it over.
Yeah. How much?
up,
I
take my
don't
money.
even know how to get there. How do I find the? Oh, there it is. Sons of Behemoth. Okay. So he's 350. Okay. So
Yeah.
there you
Be
go.
comparable
So it's
size.
about
Wow.
the same price. Okay, but this guy's
It's
obviously-
just
Oh, but
the
you're in the AU shop now, yeah. So 350 Aussie
yeah.
dollars.
So I've
This
gone to the
is-
AU one
yeah,
just
right.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think that the base is a lot bigger on those. Ross, the other bone grinder is on a really
Yeah, it
tiny
would
base.
fit on that narrow one. Yeah, that's true. But you can put him on the 150 or 100 by 150.
Oh, you can? Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with. It says both options, which is
Okay.
good. So it's almost like they know that some people are going to buy this guy.
Yeah.
the King Brod or whatever it's called. It's not just King Brod's the guy, isn't it? There's
One of
obviously
them.
just other
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, Sons of Behemoth. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I haven't really been following AOS that much. Is Sons Behemoth literally just giants?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Titans list from 40k. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
What are they
That's so
called? Is
ridiculous.
it called Titans? No. What are the Knights? It's like the Knights army in 40k. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you scroll down, you
Well-
got the giant centaur dude.
Oh, that ridiculous
Yeah.
bone
Kragnos.
giant team king thing in 6 ed. Yeah. That was all bone giants. That's Paddy took
This
to
is a
castle.
great. This is so funny when I say this, but what great value though. 3 of them. So it's $60 each for one of these giants, which is kind of Australian. Which they are a good kit. It's a good kit. This giant.
Yeah, it is.
One.
And you can, there's so much because like you can take them as like a chaos giant and so it's like almost you take it as any style of giant you want. It's not.
Yeah,
It comes
it's
with
one
so
of the
many
better ones, and I like how they're doing this, even within Old World, where they're like going, "Hey, here's 32 warriors, or 30 thunderers," rather than saying you got to buy 10 and it costs, and you need to buy 3.5 boxes worth. Like I know it costs more up front, but I just feel like you're just getting something for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rebecca, sorry, got sidetracked looking at the actual store, but yeah. So this is the the Wyverns come
Shopping.
back. The
Go on,
old
go shopping.
Azhag, yeah, the old Azhag is actually coming back. Well, it's funny because this guy is Azhag. I'm pretty sure he was Azhag in 4th edition or something. The old shaman.
Yeah, that's really old.
So it is funny that they haven't brought back the Finecast Azhag because he. But we assume it's because he's not alive in the time period, but then they are bringing the made to order back the old 4th edition Wyvern, whatever it is, which is funny because I'm pretty sure he was Azhag. So it's sort of funny. I might be wrong there, but I thought he was.
Was there anything in the comments? Did it mention a name?
Sorry, what was that? Oh no,
Not really.
Oh, it was in character.
Yeah. Does it mention anything?
I don't think so. No.
No, it just says Orc Shaman on wall with them.
Shaman?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, they're bringing some of those guys. Yeah, and probably one more article that's worth just touching on is the painting one for the orcs. So this, if you haven't read this one, because yeah, when did it come out? 22nd. So it was Friday. Came
I
out. So
totally
I think
missed
some
this
people
article.
would have missed it
Yeah, I did.
because
Yeah,
you know,
I did not
pre-order
see
went
this.
up and yeah.
Yeah.
They're basically talking about like, you know, that they've been doing this not just for orcs but for other stuff as well, like changing the palette and trying to make it give, you know, more muted tones for Warhammer the Old World rather than sort of like real fantastical, you know, vivid colours. So they changed the orc skin, but I can't remember them showing this much. Like I've seen it in some of the heavy metal guides, but in general, I haven't seen them being this detailed in terms of you know, how much mixing and stuff they've been using. And I'm sure that this is not even close to reality. Still, they probably do way more than this, but it is interesting how much detail they've gone here.
Just for the skin,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and to actually say, you know, they're basically trying to have different shades of green for orcs with a K, and oryx, you know, to try and make them all different. I'd love to. I'll probably have a go at painting some that color because I just love the mantic, whatever I use, warrior, mantis warrior contrast paint. I think it looks cool, but yes, it's more vivid green, but it just goes on so well. And then I just use a little bit of highlighting with Kizzle of Flesh or one of the others mixed into it, or this Krieg Khaki's good as well, and Ogrun Camo. So I do use some of these sort of shades at the top around the mouth and stuff, but it'd be interesting to do a proper paint like these guys have been doing and see how you get it. But I'm assuming they're doing this with all of the ranges, but the funny thing was the comment, you know, not too political, but I think it's an interesting thing what they're doing is they're basically with the new Black Orcs, because that's the Black Orc boss here, and he's just green.
Yeah.
And they're saying on the new big Black Orc big boss, we decided to move away from darker skin and we aim to repaint the rest of our Black Orcs in the same way. We made a conscious decision to illustrate the fact that Black Orcs are so-called due to their cruel, dark sense of humour and because they come from the Darklands, not because their skin is uniformly dark. We want to make that very clear so that hobbyists can get a range of skin tones for their Black Orcs. You know, they're obviously putting more female characters in it. They're doing like I've got no problem with any of this, even though it does probably change lore, so to speak, a little bit. But not that I overly remember either. I remember Black Orcs to me were always bigger. Yeah, like I like that concept.
Yeah.
Like an orc is, the more people he bashes up, the bigger he just gets.
Yeah. And they had lots of armor too, and that was often
they're
painted
like the
really
elites.
dark black colors.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was where the black came from. I never really thought about the color of their skin, to be honest.
Yeah, but I've always painted mine fairly dark black. Like not black, but fairly dark green, almost to the point where it almost is black in areas. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's it will be, because I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at some of these pictures where there would have been Black Orcs, they probably made that decision after the fact potentially, because I never noticed it on. Is there any here somewhere? Yeah, so there's
some in the
dark.
foreground, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to repaint them, but they do say in one of these that they inherited a lot of the figures from, obviously Warhammer Fantasy Battle paint team, and so they're just slowly going through and fixing them up, changing them around, or redoing them. So yeah, it was an actually interesting article in that sense, like hearing it from the painting side.
Just from a little side note on the painting side, considering we're on skin, I find this, and I wonder if you guys find the same. It's so much easier painting a creature that's non-human, like an orc, compared to a person like a man. Just like I hate because it's almost like it looks more realistic, like it's. But then when I paint a human skin or a dwarf skin, like a face, there's always just something like you get like the classic eyes, just like you get.
Yeah.
Like they don't turn out right. Where else?
Yeah, with orcs, I just dab them with a red thing for the eyes, but for humans, I just leave them half the time. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You got to work harder because you know what looks wrong, and you've got higher standards, basically.
It's easy to make.
It probably is that, Josh, isn't it? Yeah,
look bad. Human skin.
Yeah. But it is funny because even obviously, like Age of Sigmar's got a lot more darker skin like characters in there as well. But even just the Caucasian skin, like there's so many different variants. Like if you go out, you see people that are like almost white, and other people who are half sunburnt, and an older person who's red in the face, and like you just don't tend to see a lot of people model it that way. And then you sort of think to yourself, well, hang on, orcs, is that the same with orcs? Why aren't they all a little bit different green? Like, why would paint them exactly the same green? So yeah. So I guess that's what they're saying at the bottom. Like, we want to give you the flexibility to go a bit crazy, do what you want, and just don't think you have to get stuck to what historically has been in Warhammer Fantasy. It's all a game at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think it's a reasonable change. I'm less bothered by that than I was with them making Bretonians unified. Not on board.
You're not gonna. It takes a lot away from the army, doesn't it? Like the look of it, when you look at it, it looks different. When you see one of those, all in one. We'll see when I start painting mine at some point, because I'm going to try paint that yellow and white colour. So we'll see.
Yellow and white, as in...
Yeah, the King Lewin colour, is it?
Oh,
Slayer's colour. I think it's yellow and white. Yeah.
Which is a weird combo, because there's no solid colour there. It's just the two tints, like normally with Heldry, you're combining white or yellow with one of the other colours.
Contrasting almost, is that what you mean? Like something a bit.
Yeah. It's usually how the contrast, like the heraldry works. So it's an odd combo that. To be honest, but
it's going to be my first foray into a fair bit of white. So we'll see how we go.
That's a lot of
Maybe
white.
At some point in like 10 years, I'll eventually do a high elf army.
And not just white, but white on big open areas with slight shading here or there. Like it's
it will be hard. Yeah,
it's
thin it down, lots of coats. Well, actually,
I'm not sure yellow is any easier.
These are both hard, but some of them are horrendous. That and oranges can be bad.
Terrible.
I've actually been thinking about that for not particularly Bretonians, but at some point when I do another full army from scratch, whether or not, because by then I will have multiple of my current armies all up to date and I'm playing and I don't need to rush, I'll probably go back to the old school way of painting, whereas like all these newer ones I'm half, fairly, probably more than half, especially base coats, I'm laying it all down with contrast. But at some point, so I actually jumped on the Kickstarter for the wave 3 of the 3 too thin coats range. So I just wanted to just try something totally different. When I say different, like a different non-Games Workshop paint, but one that is obviously not contrast as well, and just sort of have that there to go, okay, this army I'm going to paint it all with this, and just use the triad system and see.
Yeah, I feel like the contrast style works well for yellows. Like the more recently when I've been doing yellows, I've actually been doing my shading and the highlights using like cream colors, and then just hitting it with like a yellow glaze. Even just using a normal layer paint yellow still works as a glaze over a base coat like that, rather than trying to highlight and shade in yellow. That works a lot better.
That's what they also say. They say to do like pinks and stuff as well. Then put the yellow over the top. So
I guess it depends what type of shade color temperature you're wanting with the yellows.
Is that what we had on our list? Is it?
Could be.
Sorry. There was one little thing about mercenaries and dogs of war. So in the chat around all this, the Orc and Goblin Tribes release, that's when they really, the Warhammer community team actually mentioned about the, and actually took screenshots of the Badland Ogre Bulls maybe taken as mercenaries in any Grand Army comp, which is cool. And the Bone Giant, or the Bone Grinder Giant, is obviously going to be taken as a mercenary in Orc and Goblin Tribes, Warriors, Chaos Beastmen, Brayhead. So it's like you're starting to really see Dogs of War and these mercenaries pop up, which Yeah, it was a little confusing initially when Mercenaries is in there, and I couldn't. Someone said there was Mercenaries in some of the other books, but because I haven't looked at them, I didn't realise. But certainly in my ones there wasn't a lot, so I was like, "Where are all these Mercenaries?" You know. So,
Surely
and
you're
they've
going to
used the
see some of
Dogs of
these.
War term, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
that's what I was thinking. You're going to see some of these Dogs of War models. Surely.
Especially Border Princes, that's what they all were. Weren't
Yeah.
they?
Because they didn't I feel like they didn't sell that well when they came out. Like people got them, but they just, it's kind of like one of those side things that some people got. That's why they're so expensive now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I don't know, we'll see how they go. But just from a money making point of view, which obviously GW is trying to make a bit of money out of this, I can see these sorts of high ticket sort of items being released.
At least made for order. Yeah, I mean, what do you got?
Yeah,
to lose?
100%.
Unless the molds are wrecked and they can't use them or something. But yeah, or the greens, the greens really, because they'd remaster the mold, I guess. But yeah,
both of the lists in the Bretonnia Arcane Journal had mercenaries too. By the way, like not
maybe that's what it is.
Adopted from Empire. Yeah.
Yes.
The
wizard. Was it? Is that one?
Wizard. Is it the wizard? Well, the exiles can take like Free Company and Empire Archers as mercenaries.
Okay.
And then the Errantry Crusade can take knights, Empire Knights, and Inner Circle Knights.
Yeah. So what do you thought? Let's just chat quickly about that. Like, I feel like because someone commented initially when I talked about the Bone Giant one or something, saying, "Oh, the problem there is." The troll, I can't remember what was the troll one. They're saying they got it confused with allies. That you got to create a proper army. So you can't fit it in. And that's when no, it's a mercenary, so you don't have that issue. Do you think then that makes it more likely that we'll see it allowed?
Yeah. I think so, especially because they've got that weird rule that debuff what's that misbehaving mercenaries rule?
Yeah.
Which I feel like
because I sort of want it to be. I'd hate to the community just go down this hole. We've always just done this stuff. There's no special characters and no allies and no this, and then suddenly you're not really even playing the proper game. And I'm not saying everything should be allowed.
So many caveats of what you can do and can't.
Yeah.
As long as they're not taking the piss.
People can do what they want. I don't care. But there's also, like Squarehammer talking about, I think it was Squarehammer, so I sound bad if I got this wrong, mate, sorry. But they were talking about the FAQ stuff. And they were mentioning that they're pretty sure like the 25% rule that we've been talking about, the 25% to get 25% of the victory points is probably a typo. And they've comped theirs to say that if you get 25%, you get 75% of the points. I think it was something like that. So I may be totally wrong, but it was something like that. I'm like, that's almost a massive change to how the game scores. Just because you think that's what, I don't know. I don't know if it's a typo. I reckon it's legit, obviously with our discussion, hopefully, about Death Stars. I understand what the logic there is, but it just feels weird that changing it just for that, and hopefully mercenaries and all that don't go down the same path where people just decide, no, we're not going to have it. Because I think there's only 9 factions and the other ones are there, but maybe they lose a bit of support because they're not real core. So everything's going to look too samey,
Yeah. I think it really depends on if there's a mercenary choice that ends up inadvertently breaking or dominating like the meta. And then,
whatever.
If something like that ends up happening, that'll be disappointing.
That's when that gets comped out. To me, that's what your TO's there for.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Man, I'm reading the misbehaving mercenaries table. Have you guys actually looked at this?
Yes.
I haven't previously.
It would have gone through my head.
It's so ridiculous.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like an animosity roll at the start of the game. And if you roll a 1, you then roll on a table.
Is that one?
They do turn up. There's one that's like, so the crockerel didn't crow, and it's like they turn up as ambushes instead, so they turn up late essentially to the game. Or they get stupidity because they've been drinking, or they lose a point of movement and initiative because they feel like haven't been paid enough. Like
Yeah.
there's some
Well, I
random debuffs in there,
Yeah, that's
which
yeah.
might
that's
help
the
to
thing, is
balance that.
it.
Like
Yeah.
I think so.
You
'Cause
can't you can't really just powerhouse it then max it because you've got this
No.
massive potential rand immunity that'll debuff it.
Yeah,
But you can't.
yeah,
Is it? Oh, was there a rule that you can't take inspiring presence from the general either?
I think that's in the allies.
That's allies, I
Definitely
think.
get
That's
that.
allies,
I'm not
is that?
sure about mercenaries.
Maybe they just never do. I can't remember. I haven't taken any yet. So
There's nothing mentioned about inspiring presence in the mercenary section.
Yeah, okay.
I can see here. The allies definitely can't like types
Because
of
they have
them.
their own little mini, like a little mini army almost.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a bit of a
Um,
sidetrack onto mercenaries, but yeah. It's just funny. It's cool to find these little things that the community team share on Facebook, but it sort of doesn't end up in an arcane journal, like an almanac. It's funny.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you got to like troll Facebook as well, just to make sure you're not missing anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Is that everything, guys? Or
Hopefully
you
we'll
wanna,
get our hands on the arcane journal sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well,
I can't believe they haven't given us like a date to go for it at all, like in Australia.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's annoying, especially when it's just. Yeah,
I feel like
it's a
after
bit frustrating.
After we had to wait like 3 extra weeks for the original release, we should be getting the arcane journal first, right? Like should be our turn. Where's our turn?
Because Australia got screwed over.
That's
Give
right.
you guys a bit of a boost. Pre-release.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get them soon. And I mean, yeah, it's good to know that. So what's the 6th? That's 2 weeks' time, is it? Because that's what Apple iBooks is telling me. So
Do a
worst
little book
case, we'll
review.
get it then. Yeah, love to
Add it to the list of book reviews you still got to do.
Try get some more orcs done so I can actually play them. Yeah, we need to do that too. So it's been a bit crazy around here and different stuff happening behind the scenes. So I haven't. Yeah, we keep saying we're going to do this Death Star one. We're probably going to get another faction review out. So, but we've got Easter coming up, so we'll try to get as much content out as we can. But if not, people just have to bear with us. We all done then? So I might wrap it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Unless
I
Josh
think
has
so.
got-
I don't know. He's studying mercenaries. That's what
I
he's
was
doing,
trying to read the big smart signature spell thing that you put up in here.
Yeah, that was for the troll
you wanna-
one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just there. I just whacked it up there. But the troll
it's a good
lore
bar.
and,
Yeah.
It does look
rerolling your,
good. Essentially rerolls
regen.
stupidity tests.
plus
Yeah.
stupidity, that one is. Yes,
And
that's right.
then-
And then if they've failed, you can...
And then
Try it
the whole
again
extra
when you cast
sentence of if they failed.
Because you're
Then
doing
you can
that
recut-
after your
yeah.
stupidity. That's the thing. So
Okay,
it's
is that why they
it's
put
a
that
good little
weird
thing because otherwise that spell
dynamic
would be
in,
pretty
yeah.
crap because you could fail
Yeah.
stupidity, cast that, and then next turn the other person just dispels your remains in play spell. So you never really get any benefit. So at least this way you can try and get a reroll. So
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
Yeah, and you'll know to be sweating on it because you really either passed or failed the stupidity, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, I really got to get this
I
spell
really
off."
need this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, that's a good spell.
Mm.
Cool.
Awesome. Anyway, I might wrap it up because I'm starting to fade here after playing late last night.
Too much warholing, guys.
Too much
Too much
warhauling.
warhauling.
Yeah.
Up late.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were.
We'll get some up on the might even do some live streams for that down the track once we get good at it. Anyway, cool. Thanks for listening to another Old World Fanatics episode, guys. Again, if you enjoy our weekly ramblings, give us a 5-star review. Actually, having said that, I don't think I've gone and checked to see if we've had any lately. So if you have left us one, thank you. But otherwise, I'll go read them soon. Otherwise, please hit us up on YouTube and like, subscribe, and click that bell. And I'll just give us another shout out to our patrons. And if you'd like to join our patrons, it's just patreon.com/oldworldfanatics, as well as all our socials are also just Old World Fanatics. You can find us on there. Until next time, thanks for listening to another episode of Old World Fanatics. Thanks, Josh, Andrew. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Come on. See
Ciao.
you later.
Bye.